The stars were quiet that night. Nothing moved in the black sky above Earth. But high above the clouds, something watched. It was not from Earth. It had no flag. No signal, no sound. A strange ship, smooth like silver glass, hung silently in orbit. Human satellites saw it first. Then, military radars picked it up. Alarms rang. Panic started. Was it an attack? Was it war? But the ship did nothing. It just floated above the planet. People waited. The world held its breath. Then a message came. No. One knew where it came from. It wasn't sent on normal radio. It was received in every language at the same time. On every phone, TV, and computer screen, the message appeared. Please help. My daughter is dying. We have no cure. The world froze. A message from an alien, a mother? Governments tried to respond, but there was no reply. Only silence from the ship. Until one name was spoken. Spoken clearly, everywhere. Dr. Eli Ward. We ask only for him. Dr. Eli Ward was not a hero anymore. He used to be famous. A war doctor, a genius in biology, someone who saved lives when others gave up. But now, he lived alone, far from cities, in a small house near the mountains. No friends, no news, no noise. He didn't want to be a hero again. That morning, men in black suits came to his door. They showed him the message. They told him the alien ship asked for him, only him. Eli laughed. Aliens want me? His hands were dirty from garden work. His face looked tired. I'm not going, he said. But they weren't asking. He was already chosen. 3 hours later, Eli stood on a military airfield. The alien ship had landed. It looked like a silver teardrop, bigger than a football field. No windows. No doors, but when Eli walked forward, a small light appeared. A door opened silently. Only you, said the general behind him. Eli took a deep breath and walked in. As soon as he entered, the door behind him closed with a soft click. Darkness, then light. The walls glowed gently. The floor was warm under his feet. He saw no one, but he felt something. A presence, watching. Then, a soft voice echoed in the air. Thank you, Dr. Ward. I am Varis. My daughter is dying. You are her only hope. A figure appeared in front of him. Not real, a hologram. She was tall, elegant, and her skin was like moonlight, pale, almost glowing. Her eyes were large, silver, and filled with sadness. Eli stepped back. You speak English? I studied your languages. You feel emotion. You care. That is why I came. He looked around. Why me? I'm not the best doctor anymore. Varis lowered her head. Because you saved my mate. 20 years ago. On Mars, he was a soldier. But you didn't know. You saved him anyway. Eli blinked. Memories returned. A strange soldier, injured badly. Eyes not quite human. He thought it was a dream back then. That was real? Yes, and now I ask you to save his daughter. Soft humming filled the ship. It began to rise into the sky. Eli rushed to the window, which wasn't there a second ago. Earth slowly shrank below him. Wait, he shouted. You're taking me? You agreed by stepping inside. This is a one-way journey. For now, Eli's heart pounded. But somewhere deep inside, something else stirred, not fear, but purpose. He hadn't felt that in years. They reached the alien ship in orbit. It was massive, like a floating city. As the small transport ship connected to the larger one, the doors opened to a hallway filled with soft light and strange symbols. Eli followed the light. At the end of the hallway, a door slid open, inside. He saw her, the girl. She looked no older than 10 human years. Her skin was pale, her body thin. She lay inside a glowing pod, eyes closed, breathing slow. Machines surrounded her, unlike anything he had ever seen. Eli stepped forward. She looked peaceful but weak. Very weak. Varys appeared beside him, this time not a hologram. She has a sickness we cannot name. Our science cannot help. Our hearts have no strength left. Eli looked at her. She's still alive, he whispered. Then he turned back. To the child, but not for long. He touched the edge of the pod. Then I guess I better start working. Asterisk, the air smelled different here. It wasn't like Earth. It was cleaner, thinner, almost like breathing inside a dream. Dr. Eli Ward stood still, letting the soft lights of the alien ship guide him down the hallway. The walls moved, slowly, like they were alive. The floor felt warm, like skin. He had never seen anything like it, and yet, it didn't feel dangerous. It felt sad. He heard no footsteps, but he knew someone was behind him. He turned. There she stood. The alien mother. Variss. Not a hologram this time. Real. Present. Silent. Her skin shimmered softly under the lights, like white marble underwater. Her long arms were folded close to her body. Her eyes, large and silver, did not blink, but they held pain. A deep, quiet kind of pain. The kind a mother carries when she has no more tears to cry. I'm not here to be your miracle, Eli said gently. I know, Varys replied. Her voice was soft but firm, like wind through glass. You are here to try. She turned and began walking. Eli followed. They entered a large open chamber. The roof was high like a temple. Strange glowing patterns floated in the air, changing. Slowly. In the center of the room stood the healing pod. And inside it, the girl. Varys stepped toward her. Her hands trembling just slightly. She has not opened her eyes in 23 days, she said. She hears me. I believe that. But her body. Double quotes. Varys looked down. Her body is leaving her. Eli stepped closer. He could now see Sarah more clearly. She was small, almost human in shape, but her skin had a light shimmer. Tiny blue veins glowed faintly beneath it. Machines surrounded her, pulsing with quiet rhythms. He placed a hand on one of them. I don't understand any of this, he said. Our science failed her, Varys whispered. Our logic could not save her, and we do not know how to hope. They sat together, silently. Eli finally asked, what about her father? Varys didn't answer right away. Then quietly, he died before she was born. A soldier. He saved lives and lost his own. She looked at Eli. You saved him once. That's why I found you. Eli leaned closer to Sarah's pod. Her face was calm, too calm. He touched her wrist gently. Cold. No response. What happened to her? He asked. How did this begin? Varys shook her head. We don't know. She was strong, learning fast, laughing one day. And then her body began to shut down, like something inside her was breaking. Eli stared at her. Something. Or someone. Varys didn't answer, but her silence said enough. Later, Eli walked alone through the ship. Strange symbols floated near the walls. Maybe lights, maybe language. They responded to his movements, glowing as he passed. He entered a new room. It was full of alien books, not paper, but floating images and pulses of color. It was their library. A place of knowledge. And in the center of the room, a single file sat open, written in English. A full medical scan of Sarah. Someone had already translated it. For him, he studied it. Heart normal. Lungs strong, no viruses, no bacteria. But her blood was changing. It didn't match standard alien DNA. It looked unstable. Like two different species were fighting inside her body. Then one line made his heart stop. Genetic source conflict. Human DNA detected. Eli stepped back. What the hell? He ran back to Varys. She stood by the pod, whispering something to her daughter in a language Eli didn't understand. He stopped at the door. You lied to me, he said. She's not fully alien. Varys did not move. He stepped closer. She has human DNA. That's why you came to me. Not just because I saved her father, but because I'm the only one who can understand what's happening to her. Varys turned slowly. Her eyes glistened. She is not supposed to exist. Her voice cracked for the first time. Our kind do not mix. It is forbidden. But we loved each other, and she was born. Eli looked at the girl again. Half alien, half human, and no one knows how to save her. Silence fell between them, but it wasn't empty. It was heavy, filled with fear, love, and something new. A small spark, not science, not medicine, but hope. The machine didn't make a sound, but inside its glowing screen, a secret waited. Dr. Eli Ward stood in silence, eyes fixed on the spinning DN, strands in front of him. The alien ship's medical scanner had just finished analyzing Sarah's blood. And what it showed made no sense. The data twisted like a puzzle. Beautiful, deadly, impossible. It was like watching a storm trapped inside a child's veins. He reached out, tapped a few more symbols on the scanner. The results shifted, cleared, and confirmed what he feared. 2 blood codes. One alien, one human. Fighting each other. He took a step back. This isn't a sickness, he whispered. It's a war. Inside her. The door behind him opened. Varys entered, quiet as always. Her long silver robe moved like smoke. Her face looked calm, but her eyes held worry. She's getting weaker, she said. Eli turned to face her. I know why. Varys waited. She has a hybrid immune system. Eli said. Her human side is reacting to something in her alien body. The 2 sides don't trust each other. Varys lowered her gaze. You already knew, didn't you? She said nothing. He stepped forward. This wasn't just an accident. Someone did this to her. Varys nodded slowly. We believe someone changed her blood while she was still growing inside me. Eli stared at her. Why would someone do that? Who? Her voice was cold now. The council. The word dropped like a stone. The High Council? Eli asked. Your leaders? Varys didn't answer right away. They feared what she might become, she said. A bridge between species. A threat to their control. Eli ran a hand through his hair. So instead of protecting her, they made her sick? They wanted her to die naturally, quietly, without blame. Eli looked down at the data again. This isn't natural. This is targeted. Her immune system is attacking itself. Because someone reprogrammed it. He pulled up the molecular scan. And then he saw it. A small mark. Not organic. Not part of her DNA. It was a microchip, buried deep in her spine. He zoomed in. It pulsed every few minutes, sending signals to her immune cells. She's not just dying, he said. She's being controlled. He turned to Varys. Why didn't you scan for this? Our technology doesn't detect metal, she said. We evolved past it centuries ago. Eli stared at the chip again. A simple Earth tool could remove it. But here, on this alien ship, he had nothing. She's dying, he said. Because someone wants her to. Varys moved closer to the glass pod. Her daughter's chest rose and fell slowly. Her eyes were still closed. She used to laugh, Varys whispered. Her laugh was like music. Even the walls would light up when she was happy. Eli looked at her. We have to save her. But I can't do it here, not without help. Varys met his eyes. Then what do you need? Eli took a deep breath. I need tools, real ones, human ones. And I need answers from the people who did this. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. A sharp, high-pitched sound echoed through the hallway. Eli stepped back. What was that? Varys turned toward the door. They know, she said quietly. Who? The council, she said. They've been watching. The room shook, just a little. Like a warning. A voice echoed from above, deep and cold. Dr. Eli Ward, your time is over. Step away from the child. Eli moved between the voice and the pod. "She's not your property," he shouted. "She is our mistake," the voice answered. Varys touched a panel on the wall. A small door opened beside the pod, a hidden tunnel. "Go," she said. "Take the scan files, take her blood sample, and run." Eli looked at her. "What about you?" "I will delay them," she said. "For as long as I can." Eli grabbed the samples, stuffed them into a small pouch. He looked down at Sarah one last time. "I'll be back," he whispered. "Don't give up." Then he ran into the tunnel, lights blinking ahead, guiding his way. Behind him, he heard the chamber door slam open, and Varys's voice. "She is not your experiment. She is my daughter." The tunnel was alive, not with light or sound, but with memory. As Dr. Eli Ward ran, the walls around him began to change, showing images like smoke flickering softly. Not lights, not screens, but thoughts. Alien thoughts. He slowed down. Image hovered just ahead, a memory not his own. A baby glowing softly in a glass crib, tiny, fragile, not fully alien, not fully human. Then another image, that same child, older, smiling, holding the hand of a tall figure, her father. He had a human face, and Eli recognized him. His feet froze. That soldier, the one he treated on Mars 20 years ago. He said nothing, Eli whispered. He just disappeared. Now he understood why. Varys hadn't lied. The man Eli saved was Sarah's father. But what she didn't say, what she maybe didn't know, was this: the council had watched everything, even back then. Eli kept running. The tunnel opened into a round room, dimly lit. In the center, a black cube floated, untouched by walls or gravity. It pulsed like a heartbeat. He approached it carefully. Symbols floated above the cube, alien code mixed with English. Someone had accessed this before. Words appeared, one by one. Project Unity. Classified, genetic fusion experiment. Subject, hybrid child, Sarah. Status, unstable. Terminate. Quietly, Eli felt sick. They planned it all. Sarah was never supposed to survive. She was made, not born, not as a hope, but as a test. He opened more files. Footage. Played. Hidden recordings. One showed Varys arguing with the council. Her voice calm but shaking. "She is my child. She deserves to live." Another voice replied, cold and firm. "She is a risk. Her emotions are already spreading. She will infect others with human weakness." Eli clenched his fists. They didn't fear Sarah because she was sick. They feared her because she felt. A loud beep snapped him back. The room's lights turned red. The cube dimmed. They had found him. He grabbed a glowing data rod from beneath the cube. It shrank into his palm. He turned to run, but the doorway was gone. Sealed. Trap. From the wall, a voice spoke. "You've seen too much, Dr. Ward." A shadow appeared, a tall alien in armor, eyes glowing blue. "You were useful. Now you're a threat." Eli backed away, looking for anything, any tool, any door. Then something behind the wall moved, like a pulse from within. A second figure stepped forward. It wasn't a soldier. It was Sarah. She was standing, awake, eyes glowing faintly, not in pain, but power. How? Eli stepped toward her. The soldier froze, his weapon still raised. Sarah lifted a hand. The air around her shimmered. The weapon dropped from the soldier's hand. Like it had melted. He fell to the ground, unconscious. Alive but still. Eli stared in shock. "Sarah, how are you?" "I heard you," she said softly. Her voice was calm, clear, more human than alien. "You stayed. You didn't run, so I woke up." Eli stepped closer. She was still weak, but her body was healing. Whatever had been shutting her down had stopped, or maybe she stopped it. "You removed the signal," Eli realized. The chip, you shut it down from the inside. She nodded. I remembered the pain, she said. I found it in my dreams. I turned it off. He looked at the fundy data rod in his hand. There's more, he said. They're hiding something even bigger. Sarah tilted her head. I can show you. She reached out and touched the rod. The air shimmered again, not with light, but with memory. Visions filled the room, hundreds of hybrid children in stasis. Failed versions, broken bodies, some still alive. Hidden away. Eli's breath caught in his throat. This wasn't about you, he said. It was a program, Sarah whispered. I was the only one who survived. Her voice began to tremble. They used my father. They used my mother. And they were going to use me. Eli knelt beside her. You're not a tool, he said. You're not their project. You're a person. The most powerful one I've ever met. A low hum filled the air again. More soldiers approaching. Eli stood up. We have to go, now. Where? She asked. Anywhere they can't follow. She reached out again, touched the wall. A new door appeared. Her mind had opened it. They stepped through. Lights flickered behind them, alarms rising. But ahead, stars in freedom. The stars watched in silence. Outside the ship's glass dome, galaxies shimmered like scattered jewels. But inside, the air was heavy. Not with gravity, with judgment. Dr. Eli Ward stood tall in the center of a circular chamber. 12 alien figures surrounded him, seated high on floating platforms. Their faces were cold. Their robes flowed like smoke. No names. No emotions. Only one title mattered here, the Council. Behind Eli stood Sarah, still weak but upright, her eyes calm. Her presence defiant. Beside her Varys, silent, steady, unafraid. Eli spoke first. She's alive. She healed herself. You can't deny that. One counselor's voice echoed. Survival is not permission. Another leaned forward. The child is unstable. She broke security protocols, endangered our crew, and revealed forbidden knowledge to a human. Eli took a step closer. She's a child. One you tried to kill. The chamber lights dimmed. Slightly. Power shifted. A third voice spoke, older, colder. You were brought here as a courtesy, Dr. Ward, not a citizen. Not a voice. You have no rights here. Eli smiled, but it wasn't kind. No rights. Just the cure. Just the proof that she works, and you're terrified of that. Sarah suddenly stepped forward, her voice soft but clear. I know what you did. Silence fell across the chamber. You created others like me. You hurt them. You buried them in cold labs. I saw their memories. A flicker of unease moved through the counselors. She continued. I'm not broken. I'm not dangerous. You are. One of the counselors stood. She was tall, older, her skin like gray stone. You do not understand what you are, child. Your emotions are a virus. They spread. They soften. They weaken. Varys finally spoke, sharp and loud. Then let us be weak. Let us feel. Eli stepped beside her. You fear her because she isn't like you, because she cares. And if others begin to feel like her, your power falls. The lead counselor narrowed their eyes. You have 30 hours. After that, the child is to be surrendered or destroyed. A sudden pulse hit the room, a psychic warning. Sarah stepped back, holding her head. They're trying to shut me down again, she whispered. Eli reached out. Stay with me. Don't let them in. Varys turned to the council. If you lay a hand on her again. Her voice trembled with something ancient. I will break this council myself. A deep silence followed. The counselor gave a final cold nod. Then you are traitors, both of you. Back in the transport ship, the three sat quietly. Eli paced. We need allies. Someone else in this system must know the truth. Varys stared at the stars. There is one. she said. My sister. She left the council long ago. She warned me before they ever touched Sarah. Ayla raised an eyebrow. Where is she? Varys looked out. On a forgotten moon. Where exiles hide. Sarah suddenly touched the ship's wall. It shimmered. A new star path lit up on the screen. I know the way, she said. Eli stared at her, amazed again. You're navigating the ship? She nodded. I don't need permission anymore. As the ship turned and jumped into faster-than-light travel, Ayla finally sat down. He looked at the girl, the child who was not supposed to survive. You just stood in front of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, he said. Sarah looked at him. I wasn't afraid. Why not? She smiled, faint but real. Because you didn't leave. Behind them, deep in the council chamber, the counselors spoke in whispers. One file blinked open again. Project Unity, Phase 2. Subject escaped. Hybrid consciousness evolving. Prepare extraction team. Asterisk, the stars were gone. Not because the ship moved. Because the enemy was close. Dr. Eli Ward stood in the center of the darkened control room, his eyes fixed on the screen. No stars. Just black. Then, a ripple. Then, another. Something was moving out there. Fast, silent, unseen by normal sensors. Cloaked ships, he said. Varys nodded. Her jaw was tight. Council hunters, elite. Eli turned to Saera. She was calm. Too calm. Do you feel them? He asked. Yes, she said quietly. They're angry. The ship's warning lights flickered orange. A soft alarm echoed like a heartbeat. Proximity breach. Unmarked vessel approaching. Eli clenched his fists. How long until they reach us? Minutes, Varys said. Maybe less. He looked at Sarah. Can you still control the ship? She hesitated. I can try, but they're jamming me now. Eli moved fast, pulled open a panel, revealing an old manual control stick. Then we do this the human way. He turned to Varys. Get her to safety. Varys didn't move. We stay together, she said. No more running alone. Eli didn't argue. There was no time. Outside, the council ship decloaked a jagged black blade of metal and energy. Not elegant like Varys's ship. This one was built for war. Inside the enemy ship, 3 council hunters prepared for breach. Tall, silent, no eyes, only masks. Their weapons pulsed red. Sarah stood still, eyes closed. Then she opened them. They're not just coming for me, she said. They're coming for all of us. Eli frowned. What do you mean? They want the data, she said. The proof. The truth. She placed her hand on the wall again. A hidden compartment opened. Inside was a seed, small, glowing, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. What is that? Eli asked. The code, Sarah whispered. Everything. All the hybrid files. All the failed children. All the lies. The ship shook. They had been hit. The lights flickered. Boarding clamps engaged. Hull breach in 60 seconds. Eli grabbed the seed and slipped it into a pouch. Then we can't let this fall into their hands. Varys turned to Sarah. There's one way out. But it's not easy. Eli raised an eyebrow. Please don't say escape pod. Varys shook her head. Worse. We jump into the planet's gravity field. It will pull us into the atmosphere. Fast, violent, but we lose them. Eli looked at Sarah. Can you protect us during the fall? Sarah nodded slowly. If I stay awake. The wall exploded. 3 hunters stepped in, tall and terrible, weapons aimed. Give us the child, one said. Eli stood in front of her. No. The hunter lifted his weapon, a red pulse ready to fire, but then the lights changed, blue, gentle, soft. Sarah stepped forward. I don't want to fight, she said. And yet, her presence pushed the hunters back. Their weapons sparked. Systems failed. Lights dimmed. One hunter dropped to his knees. Eli stared. You're doing that? Sarah didn't answer. Her hands glowed softly. She reached forward. The remaining 2 hunters froze, not in fear, but in memory. They began whispering. I remember. My name, my child. Their masks cracked. Underneath, faces. Tired. Broken. Alive. Then Sarah collapsed. The lights returned to normal. The hunters were gone. Their armor lay empty. Eli caught her as she fell. She didn't attack them, he said softly. She woke them up. Varys moved quickly to her side. She's too young, too much power. Too fast. Alarms rang again. Critical descent path engaged. Entering gravity pull, the ship dove toward the nearby planet. Flames licked the edges of the hull. Everything shook. Eli strapped Sarah into a seat. Hold on. He took control. The ship fell like a comet. Heat shields glowing, engines screaming. Just a little further, he whispered. Variss held on. We can't land here. There's nothing alive below. Eli gritted his teeth. Then we make something alive. The ship smashed through clouds, through storms, through silence. And then, finally, impact. Not a crash. A landing. Rough. Hard. But alive. Smoke rose from the scorched soil. Inside, Eli stood up slowly. Everyone was breathing. Sarah opened her eyes. We're not done, she said softly. Eli looked at her. Double quotes. No. But we've got a chance now. Outside. The wind howled across a lifeless world. But below the surface, something was listening. The planet was dead. No birds. No rivers. No sky. Only silence and wind that carried nothing but dust. But deep underground, a heartbeat began to echo. Dr. Eli Ward moved slowly through the cave system beneath the crash site. The ship was gone. Buried in the crash. The surface too dangerous. So he searched below. Not for escape, for answers, and something else. A place to begin again. Sarah walked beside him. Her steps were slow, but steady. Her skin no longer pale. Her eyes glowing softly, not from power, but from peace. I can feel them, she said. Who? Eli asked. She closed her eyes. Others. Like me, not alive, but not gone either. Varys was behind them, scanning the walls with a small glowing device. The scanner beeped faintly and pulsed blue. Found something, she said. They reached a wall of ancient stone, covered in forgotten symbols. Not alien, not human. Both. Saer. A stepped forward and placed her hand on the stone. It reacted. The wall lit up. A door formed, perfectly silent. Beyond it, a chamber, not cold, not empty. A sanctuary. Rows of stasis pods lined the walls, glowing faintly. Some were broken, some were still. And one, just one, blinked with life. Eli moved closer. Heart pounding. Inside the pod was a child, maybe younger than Sarah. Half human. Half alien. Eyes closed. Chest rising slowly. She's alive, he whispered. Saer. And knelt beside the pod. She's dreaming, she said. She's scared, but she remembers love. Eli touched the controls. The pod hissed open gently. The child's eyes opened, soft, glowing gold. She looked at Sarah, then at Eli, then she smiled. Not in fear. In recognition. Behind them, the data rod flickered to life on its own. Project Unity, fully unlocked now. Dozens of names appeared. Children, discarded, survivors. Varys stared at the display. This was never one experiment. It was a generation. Eli stood in silence. No, it was a beginning. Outside, the wind shifted. And then, something impossible. The soil cracked. A green shoot pushed up through the dust. Small. Fragile. Alive. Hope. 3 days passed. They revived 3 more children. Weak, confused, but healing. They didn't speak much, but they held hands. They followed Sarah, trusted her. Eli began building small systems, purifying water, Growing food from old alien tech. It wasn't much, but it was home. Sarah began to laugh again. Eli had forgotten how good that sound was. One night, while they sat around a small glowing fire, she asked, "Do you think more will come?" Eli looked at her. "Yes, they'll come. Some to help. Some to stop us." She nodded. "Then we need to be ready." He smiled. "You're not just a patient anymore." She tilted her head. "Then what am I?" He looked at the 4 sleeping children nearby. "You're their leader," he said. "You're their big sister. You're the bridge." She looked up at the stars. "No," she whispered. "I'm the spark." Far away, in the dark halls of the council, alarms were flashing. They had lost the seed. They had lost the child. Now, the planet was glowing. They watched as green spread across the surface. Slowly but surely. Life was returning. Hope was contagious, even for them. Back underground, Eli finished recording a message on an old device. He didn't know if anyone would ever hear it, but he spoke anyway. "This is Dr. Eli Ward. If you're hearing this, we made it. She survived, not because of science, not because of war, but because of something older, something stronger. Love, empathy, choice." He paused, then smiled. "She was beyond saving. Until we stopped trying to save her and started listening." Above the cave, the sun finally broke through the clouds for the first time in 1,000 years. The wind carried seeds. The dead world was no longer dead. And deep below, children began to dream again.